Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while since I've done any content related to college, and I sent out that poll on my community tab that was basically just asking like which type of content you guys want to see the most, and college content, or specifically college application content, definitely won by a very long margin, or large margin. So that's what I want to be releasing more of, and we'll start with this video. So this was actually an idea that I said I was going to make a video on after I released my last one, which was a guide about like the actual college application process, but I actually forgot to make this video, and I was kind of like wondering for a while, like I was kind of feeling like, oh, do I even have any like college app related videos to make? Like, am I out of my ideas? But I was like, wait, I can make a video about building your applicant profile, and it's something a lot of people would probably find useful, especially since it is summer right now. So that's what I decided to do. A while back, after posting my college decision reaction, I remember someone reached out to me that was like very early in high school. I don't remember exact age, but that conversation we had kind of made me think a little bit more about building your profile as an applicant. So let me actually give some context for myself. So honestly guys, I didn't really start thinking about college until maybe like beginning of junior year. I knew I wanted to go to like MIT specifically, and more broadly like a prestigious school ever since I was like a kid, but I had no idea how competitive like college admissions was until probably like in junior year, or like any idea about how to even apply to college, because my public high school didn't really prepare people that well for it. Come junior year, I start hearing a lot more about college, hear about like the seniors going to college, you know, they have like some college admissions officers visit our school, so I went to some of those, and that's when I really started like getting more familiar with college admissions. Honestly guys, not gonna lie, I got really lucky in high school. I kind of just realized that kind of whole ramble wasn't actually about building my profile. That was just about me getting familiar with college admissions. But I say that to say that like my profile building was definitely kind of more of a lucky thing, honestly, because like going up till like the end of sophomore year, I honestly didn't really have any great extracurriculars. I only did like clubs in school, and I didn't have any officer positions. I'd have good academics and good test scores, but it wasn't until summer after sophomore year that I did a program, and then I did like 2 prestigious ones like summer after junior year, and honestly I got really lucky that I got into both of them, and I think that played a big role in my admission. So that's kind of something I want to talk about today. But I just say this because like definitely building a profile is something that honestly, in my opinion, would take 4 years and not just like maybe the 2 that it took me, unless you're lucky and that's something you can't really rely off of. So anyway, let's get started with talking about building your profile though, and my advice for you guys. So with recent trends in college admissions, I can tell you there's so many people I know that have had great test scores and great grades, yet still don't get admitted to like top universities. And it's because so many people have those, and because most of the applicants are like academically qualified to attend these universities, like that's not the deciding factor, and it's really those special extracurriculars and essays that set people apart. And honestly, my opinion, I feel like extracurriculars is like the biggest thing in college, or in terms of like biggest thing in college applications. So if you don't have good extracurriculars, like I feel like it's make or break, because that's what sets people apart. That's basically your whole profile. When a lot of people start high school, they're kind of told to explore throughout high school and that you can like do whatever you want. But I honestly feel like that's something that will not serve you, because college admissions officers don't want to see someone that had no direction in high school, that was just doing whatever extracurriculars they thought was interesting and had no clear passion. So I think a good idea is to explore within your freshman year, get really involved in all the clubs you find interesting or other organizations, and then once you've done that, you can kind of focus on something for your other 3 years. And you can honestly even start summer before your freshman year, like exploring options. You know, if you already know what you're gonna do, great. Like that makes your life so much easier. But I definitely would say that freshman year should be your year to explore, and then you should kind of like figure out what you want to focus on after, because guys, high school is only like 4 years of your early life and you should enjoy them, but at the same time it's like, let's say you find something to focus on in high school and it might not be like your real passion. Like maybe you have that for like 4 years, but you don't have to focus on that for the rest of your life. Like college, in my opinion, is the time where you can really explore like what you want to do and there's no consequences. So this is just saying that if you want to go to a prestigious university, like you can't just do whatever in high school. Like it's so much more beneficial to just kind of pick something to put your energy on and pursue that for at least these 4 years, because you know what, if you decide you don't like it, you have college to switch. One thing that will definitely benefit you in college admissions is talent. I've played cello for over 10 years, and I think my skill with the cello definitely helps my college applications. So this is to say, if you're at the start of high school and you're pretty good and experienced with something, try pursuing it for the rest of high school, as long as you don't hate it. Because if you get really good at something, that will make you look so much better to college admissions officers, because it's something that helps you stand out. Like I can tell you from all the people I know that were admitted to these prestigious universities, a lot of them had one thing or maybe two things that they were really good at. And that just sets you apart from the hundreds of thousands or even millions of other seniors that are applying to college at the same time. Honestly, for me, I wasn't that great at cello when I first entered high school, but if you try to hone a skill that you're even a little bit good at throughout all of high school, you can honestly get so much better and get to a level that will really impress college admissions officers. Okay, so once you're past your freshman year and you're done exploring, you found a passion that you feel comfortable pursuing for the next 4 years, I think at this point you really need to get more involved in it. So what that means is starting to look at summer programs that you can do, and then also looking for ways that you can get involved outside of school. So by getting involved outside of school, I mean basically like getting involved in organizations that aren't just within your school. And this could be like through a club at your school. For example, like if you did competitions for debate or math team that weren't just within your school, that could be an example of doing more with one of your passions. Some other ways that you can get involved outside of school are by participating in organizations and nonprofits, or also making your own. I know there's this huge culture recently of people founding nonprofits to try to get into prestigious universities, and honestly, I think it's really what you make of it. So a lot of times, like, this would not work, I would say, if you don't actually do work with your organization or nonprofit. But if you start sophomore year, you definitely have potential to make a big difference if you just keep on working at it and actually put effort into whatever endeavor you're doing. Programs are another great thing that you could be doing in high school, because they have the potential to give you a lot of knowledge and also make you seem more impressive to admissions officers. So I did 3 programs during high school. The first was Governor's Honors Program, which is Georgia's governor's school basically, and I did it for cello actually. So it was like a 4-week residential program over the summer, and it was completely free, so that was really nice. And then I did MITE Semester, which is an MIT national like kind of summer program. It kind of runs from the summer till December, but it's virtual, which is pretty nice, and it's also free. And then I also did National Youth Orchestra 2, which was also free, and it was residential 3 weeks over the summer. But all of these programs also are just like great opportunities, because you will meet so many people. It could be in your field, or if it's like a governor's school, it could be in many fields that are really talented and have a lot of good connections. And this is something I wish I focused on so much early in high school, because connections actually serve you so much, you know, and they really inform you about possible opportunities that you could get. So this is to say, like, please start networking, branching out, reaching out to people, and doing these programs, because you can meet people that can help you later too. And I'm not saying like meet people for the shallow purpose of what benefit they'll give to you, like make actual connections with people, but these actual connections can prove beneficial. For programs and competitions, it definitely requires your own research, so definitely do that. I mentioned only a few programs here, but there's so many out there and many more free ones at that are just available to do. So just do your research and find out about things that you find interesting and just shoot your shot and apply. Like, I wish I had this mentality so much earlier in high school, guys, but like never deprive yourself of any opportunity. If there's like a potential opportunity for you to do, no matter how competitive it is, no matter how inexperienced you feel, apply. Because if you get in, it could make the world of difference. And personally, I've had a lot of times where I've applied to things and I haven't gone in, but that's okay because you only ever get in things if you just keep on applying and putting yourself out there. If you give up after one rejection or don't even try because you're too intimidated, you're never gonna get anywhere. That being said, for these applications, they definitely take a lot of work. So just put in the work, you know, especially early in high school and during the summer. Most people usually don't have that much work, so there's definitely much more time to work on these applications and make sure they're really good so that you seem impressive to these programs. That being said, I should have said this earlier, but having good grades and test scores is definitely a necessity, also because a lot of colleges are starting to require test scores. So in your pursuit of these extracurriculars, do not forget about your academics and your tests. You have to still stay focused on them. So it's definitely a huge balancing act, and some things that will help you with that balancing act are: one, cutting out distractions. So I definitely was an offender of this earlier in high school, but I used to game pretty often and it just takes up so much time. And if you find fulfillment in what you're doing in life, you won't feel the need for distractions as much. So I would say try your best to maybe replace something that's unproductive with a more productive habit. Like, of course, we're still kids, but you know what? Honestly, these days, if you want to get into a prestigious university, you have to kind of like give up that aspect of being a kid a little bit and actually try to do something that makes a difference. Something else that can really help you with managing time for building your profile is not getting involved in too many extracurriculars because they just take up so much time. So it's okay to like do extracurriculars for fun, but if it's taking away time that you could use for doing something else that will help you build your profile more, then it's probably not worth doing it. Like, it's kind of a hard pill to swallow, honestly, but if you're not good at something and you're not doing it at a high level and showing passion for it, like, it's basically worthless in the eyes of an admissions officer. It's nice to have those hobbies and activities that we're interested in just for the fun of it. And that is a necessary part of being a human and seeming like a personable person to a college admissions officer. But if you don't have those more focused things and you're only doing things for fun, you're basically like everyone else and you're not going to stand out at all in the college admissions pool. Another thing that can help with building your profile is pursuing an internship or research experience. There are programs for internships and research, but it's also possible to just cold email professors, senators, whoever you want to work with, and just see if they'll take you. Definitely working on a project through research or an internship can be very beneficial in improving your applicant profile. If you're thinking of going to STEM, doing research is definitely a great idea because you can present your research at science fairs and do ISEF, which is a very large international science fair that has a lot of prestige. And you can also apply to research programs like RSI or SSP that are very prestigious, and there's actually so many of them. So doing any sort of research beforehand just helps to get these experiences. Before I end this video, I've done all this talk about different opportunities that you can get in high school, but I want to just give you an idea of what a good applicant profile could look like. So for me, my profile as an applicant was kind of structured mainly around being good at cello and also being really interested in STEM. And I think that combination of things is what got me into the universities that I got into. So I think it's a good idea to try to have something that you're good at. And if you don't, just try to get good at something, and if you don't have something in particular you're good at, try to be really passionate about something, and that's also something that can really boost your application and make you look like a good applicant. And remember that all of these things are on top of having good grades and test scores, and also writing good essays and being personable. I will say though, it definitely helps to have multiple things that you're good at. I don't feel like you can truly get away with being a 100% spike student that has only like one thing that they're really good at, unless you're actually like one of the best people in the nation at it. Otherwise, it's helpful to be really good at something, but maybe also have another thing that you're quite good at as well. And I think everyone knows nowadays that being completely well-rounded and just being decent at everything you do but not actually really good at anything you do isn't the move for college admissions. Ideally, you want to take your extracurriculars to the national level and at least the state level, and if you're not getting to those levels, you're just going to be like everyone else. When you're spread so thin and trying to do so many things but not actually being good at any of those things, it's going to be really hard to go to the next level with them. That's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you have any specific questions, feel free to reach out to me, and also just let me know in the comments any ideas for more advice that you might need, and I will deliver. Regardless, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!